I would like to speak for the pain of separation that can be so deeply felt in the holy days, whenever they may happen at any time of the year. The loneliness, the isolation, the misgivings of the past, the issues with religion, disassociation from God. It's as if the holy days conjure up our core suffering and disassociation from people, from our source, from ourselves. And yet, I pray this suffering can bring us back to reconciliation. The suffering can bring you to God if it is used for this purpose. And I pray that people can feel their need to be connected to their source, and to the power of that source, and the grace, so that their own dignity and integrity can be restored, despite whatever errors they have made or regrets they may have. I pray that people can turn this corner. For God's first purpose is to unburden you so that you may receive. Burdened, you cannot receive. And I pray that the love that is within you can be released and can emerge in the light of revelation. It has to be called out of you. It has to be unlocked. And you don't have the key. But those who sent you have the key. I pray that you will request this wholeheartedly, not casually, not just in a moment of frustration, but continually, so that the rays of initiation may be ignited and shone upon you. You have to initiate that, because that tells heaven you're ready, that you're sick of sickness, and you're ready to begin your journey back to health, your greater restoration, not only to health, but to a greater role in the world. I pray that you will, through your suffering and your deep evaluation, will sound that call. Heaven is waiting for you to sound that call. And I pray that the new message itself can be a vehicle to bring the calling for this greater purpose that you all carry to be called out of you, to remind you, to restore you. And I pray you will be the willing participant for this to be possible. For heaven waits upon you in this regard. God has spoken again. The message is pure, it's uncorrupted. It has not been alloyed with culture and governments, and tribes, and human habits, and the compromises of human adoption. It is before us now. It is made available to you and to people around the world if they can find it, through you, through others, however that may be. I pray for this because we cannot restore ourselves without this gift of grace. And though the previous great traditions have this gift of grace, it would take a very wise teacher to help you find it there. But the traditions have been altered and overlaid with human inventions, human compromises, and human commentary. If you have such a wise teacher, you're very blessed. But if you do not, then God has given you the pure revelation now. Given at the time of its inception, before it does become alloyed and corrupted and compromised through the interpretations of people and their attempt to unite it with things from the past or things they prefer. We have the gift now of technology to bring this message to the whole world all at once. Never before has this been possible for obvious reasons. And I pray that this technology will be used for this purpose. And that those who seek restoration will be able to find it through the revelation, whether they're living in a rural village in Kenya, whether they're living in a city in Korea, whether they're living in the countryside of China, whether they're in the embattled streets of Aleppo or Damascus, God bless them. Whether they're struggling for freedom in Cairo or trying to build a nation in Libya, or lost alone in any city, anywhere. May the light of revelation reach them. I pray. I want you to pray with me in this, in your own private way, not just for yourself, but to practice being the vehicle for others. God will use you as a conduit of power if you can prepare and overcome your grievance against yourself and the world. And the new message has given you the tools to do this in a way that's authentic and not disingenuous. I pray you will use it for this purpose. For knowledge will not arise until your incentive is honest and pure. It waits for you. I pray that every day can become a holy day as you practice taking the steps to knowledge in remembrance that you are sent from a greater power to serve a world in need. And to learn how not to condemn that world in need, for it is your place of restoration. A beautiful world without problems, you would find no purpose there. But here you have purpose. The revelation will teach you of this and correct the errors of religion and restore the integrity of the pure source and the pure calling and the meaning of the return, so that humanity can have this great chance as it stands at the threshold of determining its future and destiny in this world and within a greater community of life. I pray that we will seize this opportunity, starting with you and each person, not because others are doing it, but because you must do it. As I have taken this burden and this privilege because I had to do this, not because others were telling me I had to do this. Not others in this world, at least. And while I feel I have the power of heaven driving my life, what I can bring to you is that power that will drive your life and overcome ambivalence, fear, and anxiety, low self-esteem, and the feeling of unworthiness or inadequacy that plagues every person on earth, be they humble or arrogant, rich or poor. Let these holy days be the days we practice, for every day we practice becomes a holy day, because we're practicing and receiving and attempting to apply the gift of grace. May the blessing be with us and with you, but with the blessing comes responsibility, not only to receive, but to serve that which serves you. The presence of the teachers be with us. Asino Varai.